Hi and welcome. My name's Andy Parker, and I want to welcome you to our headquarters here in San Diego. I hope you're having a great day, and thanks for opting in. Well, I'm assuming that you're here because you may have the desire to sell your house, or maybe you've tried to sell your house and haven't had the greatest result. So today, that's what we're going to be talking about. We've created a new method in which to do this. I'm very excited about it. There's some great psychological things built in and many other things that will help you maximize your buying pool, energize the buyers, put yourself in the best position to create multiple offers for your home, which creates competition and all sorts of good things happen after that. So it's a system that I'm looking forward to sharing with you, and I believe that you'll be pleasantly surprised. So having said that, let's get started. Okay, so as you can see, I have shrunken myself down here and I've put on my glasses so I can really see clearly, so we can go through this information for you, and really excited to share this with you. So good job for being here. You know, we've put out some pretty bold statements. Get your price offers in 24 days and we guarantee it. We guarantee it because we really believe in what we're doing, and I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. So just so you get to know me a little bit, I have a great family. I have 3 kids, been married to an amazing woman for a little bit of time now, about 32 years, and played in the NFL for quite a while. Played 6 years for the Raiders, special teams captain, but had a great time. Was very thankful to play. Played about a year or so for the Chargers as well. And so you might be wondering, how did I get here? Well, after I retired from football, actually before I did, I started going into business. I started a health club, became back in the 90s. I started working for an affordable housing nonprofit called Care Housing Services. That evolved into starting, in addition, a residential brokerage firm. And then from there, I created my ebook, which we hope that you'll download here, or at least get a copy of that here. So that's a little bit about me. But as I was actually in the league, and actually when I first became a broker, what I experienced was, when it came to selling a house, was very frustrating and very inefficient. What I mean by frustrating is that everybody was doing the same thing and they had no choice. That one thing is really the thing that created this whole process of how I got here. And that means that we are in the process of eliminating that one thing and creating every opportunity for buyers to want to, buy your house. But as part of that, we started this new process. We created some software, brought in a bunch of coders, told them what I wanted to do, and lo and behold, I think at the end of the day, we've done it, and I'm excited to share it with you. And I believe it's a complete game changer. Matter of fact, I think it's a listing breakthrough for homeowners and what we can do for you. And yes, it's different. It's not necessarily completely new from the standpoint of a real estate agent and what they're used to doing. It's not an auction. It's not way out there kind of thing. But it takes advantage of one very simple psychological scenario, which I will share with you in just a bit. But first, I want to talk about the old versus the new. This picture here represents what I consider the old way of buying a house. It's old, it's rusted, it's antiquated, and frankly, it just doesn't work. The reason why it doesn't work, and that one thing that I was talking about is that everybody, and I mean everybody, 99.9% of all realtors start their listing price at retail value. What does that mean? Retail value means market value, what the market will bear for your house. Now, in doing that, according to the National Association of Realtors, you're going to be limiting your buying pool down to about 45%, which is not good, obviously. You need a buying pool, and the bigger the buying pool, the better, okay? So why have not any other agents decided to do this differently, or why hasn't it changed? Well, frankly, there's really no other choice. What homeowner wants to discount their house? I mean, think about that. If a realtor comes to you and says, hey, I want to list your house for way below the value so it sells quickly, are you okay with that? And the answer would be, of course not. So they have had no other choice until now. So what's different? What do we do, and how have we resolved that issue? Well, that's where our signature solution comes in. The home seller's three-step process for creating multiple full price offers, release multiple offers, and we incentivize for full price. And bottom line is we want to make sure that you get your price and everybody comes away happy. Okay. Introducing the CARE method, a psychological system to sell your home quickly, efficiently, and drive to full price. And as you can see, the psychological advantages that we might have here in just a moment talks about one clear path. And there's one path that I'm going to take you from today on this video from A to B that talks about everything in between and the systems in which how we condition the buyer and incentivize for full price offers. Okay, so these three simple steps will quickly sell your home at the right price with zero frustration. That's what we're trying to do here, and it starts with preparation. We're going to prepare the buyer, condition the buyer, and then we're going to have our offer magnet, which will create competition and incentivize, drive the price. Okay, so having said all that, let's break this down and let's talk about it in detail. First and foremost, we have the value. Once we get the value, we want you to fix up your house, get it show ready. You want to create a good first impression. From there, how we price the house has everything to do with it. We may go with the value range, or we may just go with wholesale pricing. And you might say to yourself, how do you do wholesale pricing? I'll explain that in a minute. But that's, if you remember, that's the one thing that's a deal killer for most listings, or that will create a very inefficient model moving forward, meaning that so many days on the market, it gets stale, you cycle through buyer after buyer, it just takes too long, then you have to lower your price, and it creates this downward cycle of negativity, and it's just very inefficient. I'm not saying it doesn't work. What I'm saying is that I believe there's a better way, a more efficient way to get it done. Now, the goal obviously is to sell your house quicker and for more money, but it's easier said than done. But having a system behind what we say is really the first step in making sure that we can do what we can say. So as you price the house, we agree on a price. Once we agree on our price, then we start marketing. Okay, when we start marketing, that's what every realtor does. That's worth their salt. They're going to do it right. High definition photography, drone shots, walk-through tours, 3D virtual tours, all sorts of things that you do to market your house to get it to look good in person as well as online. And once you syndicate it and you create your websites and you just send it out to your database and you start doing things SEO-wise and through social media, then you're going to maximize your buying pool. Now, as you can see, the price has a lot to do with that. So if you discount your house or, list it at wholesale, according to the National Association of Realtors, you're going to stimulate about 90% of the buying pool as opposed to 45%. Now, why that's important is more buyers, more opportunities. And as assuming that we fix up the house properly, it's staged right, it looks good, you created that good first impression, we got great pictures on there, it's displayed well, and we have the maximized buyers on there, they're going to want to see your house. So, through the open houses and other means in which we tour the homes in person, they're going to be energized and want to go and check it out quickly. Now, once this takes place and they want to start putting in their offers, okay, this is the game changer. We've created this proprietary software. Everybody puts their offer online. So you might say to yourself, well, what do they get to see? Well, I can tell you what they don't see. They don't see the price. But what we do after we energize the buyer is we set them up on the offer platform. Okay. Now I'm not going to go into too much detail works, but this offer platform is, creates what we call transparency. Now it's not complete transparency where we're going to give away price, but it does rank the offers. So as they come in, as you can kind of see from the slide, as we zoom in on it, you can see that we rank the top three. It indicates who the highest offer is, so you'll know if you're the highest offer or not and where you stand in the top three. If your offer is in the top three, you might have a chance to compete. If it's not in the top three, unless you're all cash and you have zero contingencies, it might be hard to compete. But now you know, if you're a buying agent, whether or not you can compete or not. Many times in a multiple offer scenario, it's very frustrating for a buyer's agent to go back to their client and say, hey, they want the highest and best. What do you want to offer? And it's a complete blind guess. No one knows what it is. And so you put an offer out there and it just doesn't quite compete enough. And then you lose the house. When in reality, you may have been willing to go, or your client may have been willing to go higher, but you never had a chance to compete. So that's what's the beauty about this software, is the transparency. The transparency creates the ranking. The ranking creates the competition. So now you have people competing for your house without it being an auction, which is good news because realtors don't like auctions. Okay, so this says every benefit of an auction without it being an auction. As we rank the offers, we create competition, which drives the price. As we drive the price, we have incentives. Now, these incentives could be a brand new car. It could be the furniture that we have in there, the staging furniture. It could be a piece of jewelry. It just kind of depends on you and what you would like and how the house kind of matches up as far as value goes and where we end up on our price. Okay. Or we may leave it up to the customer or to the new buyer as to what they would like and give them the choice, because everybody likes to have their own choice. So maybe having the choice between a car, furniture that's in the house, or a piece of jewelry, his and her jewelry, would be really cool. Okay, so to summarize what we just did, I'd like to talk about the old and new, just to recap. The old method, 99.9% of the realtors out there have to list your house at retail for good reason. I don't blame them for doing it. The system has worked. It's just not very efficient. And so we're creating a new way in which to do this, and hopefully one that, well, for sure, you'll never have to lower your price. And so that's one of the beauties about this, is once you set your price, you never have to lower it, and people, it can only go up. Okay. So obviously, if you list at retail, you're going to minimize the buying pool to 45%. It demotivates the buyer, so you're going to cycle through buyer after buyer. You're going to lower your multiple offer opportunities. You might have one or two offers trickling in, but you can't leverage them against each other. And eventually you may need to lower the price. And that takes a long time, which is not fun for people that are trying to sell their house. It's the unknown. It's the not knowing, which I think is one of the most biggest pains that people have when selling a house. Now, the new way, the CARE method, allows for wholesale pricing. And that is a huge thing, because that's in San Diego anyway, out of the 25,000 realtors that are out there, nobody, unless you're trying to auction the house, can list the house for wholesale, because there's nothing that will drive the price. And so what that does, if you can list at wholesale, if there is a system for listing at wholesale that does work without it being an auction, then here it is. And it maximizes the buying pool. Once you maximize the buying pool and you do all your fixes and do everything right, you energize the buying pool. Obviously with equity upside, that'll do that. As we energize that, the opportunity for multiple offers kicks in. That brings transparency through the offer platform, which helps create competition, because people can see what their offer is and they can put in a smart offer, not a blind offer. And once the competition is created, that helps drive the price. And if we get in within the pricing of the incentives, then we're looking at potential full price offers, maybe multiple full price offers. So that's our system. That's how it works. My guarantee, as you probably see from some of the things that you've read, is that I'll give up 50% of my commission. Obviously, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I really believe in this system, so I'm willing to do that. I'm not a discount guy. I believe that realtors should get paid for doing the work that they've done, and it's worth every penny. And if I'm doing my job, I will maximize the value of your home as well as do it in time efficient. So the next steps, what's next? First thing is get on my calendar. Let's talk about it. As you're getting on my calendar, I'd like you to do a home evaluation. and that's also on the link below. So get on my calendar, do your instant home valuation, and then if everything looks good and we're a fit and we can work together, or it's a possibility that we can work together, I would recommend having a one-on-one in-person meeting where we can talk and game plan this out to see what's the best scenario moving forward. Okay, so having said that, I'd like to say thank you for opting in again, and it was good to visit with you, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Thank you.